Hello, trading is closed on April 2, 2019. Let's go over our calls, make a prediction for tomorrow. And since I won't be available the rest of the week because of personal business, we'll discuss the intermediate term picture, which I think is rather tenuous if you're long, and the long-term picture, which I think has improved dramatically. Well, yesterday we said unless we get down, higher prices should print. They printed immediately. But even though we had a series of highs here, we couldn't close over all these highs despite gapping up. Not good. And after rallying all day, we couldn't hold on to the close, onto these highs. Not good. So either we gap up and take these out tomorrow, or lower prices print. We have an optional target, 2864.82. We came close enough to it today so it doesn't have to print, but I think it will, and that's my call. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up first. Early on, we had a rally attempt. System said was false. Decline attempt. System said would retrace. Rally attempt says it's false, and here's the target. Well, it's not good when you rally all day and you can't accomplish anything and close unchanged. I've kind of given up on DeMarc's indicators, but I still like to keep track of where they are. And today was bar 13 of a sequential sell signal. Doesn't have to start a drop right here, but at least you're at a state where he says we're overbought. And as we showed yesterday, the Bollinger Bands on the McClellan oscillator for NASDAQ are also in a very overextended state. Now this has been my count for a long time, and it still is a perfectly valid count, but it's not the only valid count. It's just my preferred count. This rally here, I think, surprised everyone, including me. I did say down here the target was over 2,800, but I also said I thought it was impossible. Usually bear market rallies are short, sharp, brief things. They don't last 3 months and go up in a straight line. Typically, you don't get a golden cross of the 50 and 200 a day moving average. Typically, you don't have over 90% of stocks having favorable chart patterns and over their appropriate moving averages. So at least, even though this is still a plausible count and my favorite count, we have to consider the fact that maybe the bull market isn't over. Among the other counts, this is the most pleasing to me. Let's say that's the end of wave 3. Remember, this is a 3-wave structure, not a 5. That's A. What if we're still in wave B of wave 4? It works out this way. This would be A of B. Then you have your A. Remember, that was, you look at, this is a weekly chart. If you look at the daily, it's a clear 5-wave structure. This could be ABC. Now, C doesn't have to end here, but if it does, there's a Fibonacci relationship between A and C. So it's possible that's the end of B, and then you could have wave C down, and then this consolidation would correct exactly 50% of this up move, and this whole thing, if assuming that's the top, which it doesn't have to be, assuming that's the top, you could have a drop here. This might even hold, and that would complete your ABC, and then you could be off to the races again. Now, if this is the count, and we don't know that yet, I like the fact that C and A have a Fibonacci relationship. Of course, it isn't the only Fibonacci relationship, This is 127.2% of this, but it could be 168%, could be 150, 200, you don't know. But at least it's one of the plausible places for this to end. That's why I'm saying the intermediate picture is a bit tenuous here, because if we start dropping, I would believe it. But longer term, this count has a lot to recommend it. It certainly explains this action here more intuitively than the previous count I showed. So we'll have to see if this high holds. So this is a negative pattern unless we gap up and invalidate it. We have a lower target for tomorrow, but if we start dropping in earnest, we could be in wave C on that last chart. And just a word of warning, usually when I'm away from the market 3 days, that's when we get the biggest moves that I can't take advantage of. And that's today's call.